said, now let me chill, get back on my jab, on fundamentals. It's fun to the middle. You know what I'm saying? But still got the job done.
You're taking care of him to the body early on. A couple of fights earlier, he had been stopped with a body shot. Was that on your mind coming into this fight to work that body?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was looking at him. He don't look very strong, very sturdy. You know what I'm saying? So, and then at the first time for the East told us, if I can get stopped to the back, I didn't even know that. Appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to steal that. So, he just gave us the blueprint for us.
Walk me through the first knockdown of this fight. What were you looking for when you were pressing him in those moments?
For the matchup. Second for the matchup, but of course, yeah, I was trying to bring his hands up. To the body. They got the room. He's doing.
Second knockdown, the final knockdown. It seemed like you got 11 or 12 count. But after that, you kind of some precision in the corner, kind of a big smile on your face, sort of looked up there in that moment. What were you thinking as you walked back after that knockdown?
Motherfucking assassin is back, motherfucker.
First fight, working with Ronnie Shields, your dad's here, did a tremendous job when you leading to a world champion. What did you take from this working with Ronnie?
I mean, I learned from his damn clown too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did shit the whole time. And somebody, I'm only one person to pay. Don't see the crowd fight coming from. Speed is small. Like, being the one, I don't care what I'm watching, what I'm watching. I still see it. It's my place to be. It's my all.
Back. So what's next?
We shall see him. Talk to my team and see what's up. No matter what, I got no business. So, it means I do my thing.
Congratulations, Ryan.
Appreciate you, brother.
Georgia absent surgery. Got back to the fundamentals, but it's not the mental. Georgia, where's your left? I want to talk to him. The twin comes out, but it's not a close plan. Just you know what, man? I'm happy. He has a lot to give to boxing, man. He came up short once against a great fighter, and I want to see more of the assassin. I think we all do. And I'll probably consider it later, considering him. Swift tonight in Norfolk, picking up his 29th career win. Let's show you the highlights. We can almost show you the whole fight back as Norfolk Jr. starting out and then pull down. This was a woman, somebody's phone against a man that didn't know how to fight. I just don't know how to get this opportunity. I mean, he came in full of confidence and he had a game plan. He was a professional fighter, yeah. Decent record, but no, man, he just felt the power. And then that's once this came out. He found his way out, and they let him out. If that man was going to take over, he was going to bring it down and hurt him. So Norman getting around to handbalance, getting swing, giving us our first knockout. Wasn't a fair fight as Josh Wagner did not put up much resistance at all. One fight to go, and it is the main event of the evening, a rematch between Nair Albright and Norfolk's own, the businessman, Keyshawn Davis. Undefeated, but this man, Nair Albright, beats his brother the last time. Norfolk
The ocean's astounding power is that at any moment it can change. So if you find an hour-by-hour plan to spend a day in Halifax, take it with a grain of salt. Like at sea, best to prepare for the unpredictable, to follow currents to places you never saw coming. Let the tides keep time as they rise and fall until you forget you ever had to watch them. And then, if you're lucky, you'll completely lose your bearings. It's shot.
take it.
It's always enjoyed it. Really, I was out. Something uncomfortable. Thankfully, the unresolved result of the street lights see the forward. Yeah, well, this gives me off. It's you're not the simplest name. That's not. Let's say that. Hey, I said, listen. I get the feeling like I'm watching. It's good. I'm going right here onto some first live. The legendary pyramids of Giza, Alexander Hussein, faces kickboxing king Rico Verhoeven next Saturday. It's a true spectacle as Tommy Fury takes on 2017 World Strongest Man Eddie Hall. And then after that, battle of the undefeated. Relate. Can we relate? Xander Science versus WBO and WPA junior middleweight titles on the line against Jerron Ennis. And finally, Anthony Joshua returning to the ring against dangerous heavyweight Christian Franca. Join us on Ultimate and get at least 12 pay-per-view events every year, including at no extra cost. Just head to the zone now to learn more. The first rule of the Zone Ultimate is hard roll, partial rule. You don't pay per view. Do not pay per view. Not pay per view. Second rule of the Zone Ultimate, second rule pay per view. Because ultimate. Lomachenko, your former fighter, announced he was returning to boxing age 38. What was your reaction when you heard Lomo was coming back? So, I have real big questions.
Second. I'll be rooting for him because he's a splendid person. The guy we know is fighting Xander Zayas, set to take on Pullups June 27th in your hometown of New York City. Xander had for his entire career as a professional. Now he takes a big test against Jerron Ennis. How confident are you in your guy heading into this fight? Well, he wanted this fight. Xander did, and he feels that he has the ability to beat Ennis. Ennis, you know, is a top fighter. You know, he's done very well. All I can say is going to be very exciting, and it should be a great fight. All right, we got a main event tonight that should be a great fight as well. The rematch between Keyshawn David and here, all right. A couple of fights ago, Keyshawn had some problems with his weight, had some problems again this week getting down to 140 pounds. You have called Keyshawn potentially the next face of boxing, a future star in boxing. How did you feel with the weight stuff, and how confident are you with him going into this fight? I'm very confident. I don't think anybody beats Keyshawn at or near this weight. I mean, I think he's really something very special. And I'm glad that all of our friends on the zone will have an opportunity to see that tonight. Great to see you, Bob. Great to see you back sitting ringside. Yeah, and you mentioned about the pyramids next week. One of my favorite fighters, Richie Torres, will be on that card fighting Frank Sanchez. And truth, if my knee was better, I would make that trip, but it's just too long. So I'll be rooting for Richie and watching him on the zone. 94 still can promote like nobody else, Bob. Always great to see you. Gayla, we're back up to you.
He is awesome to see him ringside, Bob. Thank you always. Thank you, Chris, as well. The wait, everyone. It's so first 50 years. 6 months showed him. Together. Still.
So I ain't even thinking about the narrative at all. I don't think about the fight.
Keyshawn Davis looking controversial first fight will face a close decision over Dyer Albright. You to have an in return to a no contest, leaving questions unanswered and bad blood unresolved.
I've been through a lot of things that people just try to beat it out mentally, and I still show up fighting.
And just over a year and a half later, what started in the ring exploded outside of it. A backstage brawl following Albright's victory over Keyshawn's brother Kelvin Davis.
This man staying focused on the fight itself. It's gonna be a knockout.
It's gonna be a fight. It's gonna be, and she is gonna bring his all. I'm gonna bring my own. It's gonna be an all-action fight.
Now Albright is coming into this rematch with a chip on his shoulder and a seek-and-destroy mindset, while the businessman returns home determined to erase the controversy. Fighting against finishes having considered
He's a decent fighter. You know, of course he's coming to fight just like last notice. I should have gone there and do something that anybody else done before. Just stop him.
Tonight, Keyshawn Davis, your home, finally settled unfinished business live on the zone.
Just as long as I get that knockout in, I think that would be the perfect performance.
I see myself with my hand raised Saturday night, shocking the world.
Welcome to North Virginia, home to the House of Just Naval Base, as Tom Bright Boxing in the Zone gets you set for a world-class main event between hometown favorite Keyshawn Davis and his arch rival, Dyer Albright. I'm excited for this one. I'm Kayla Burgess, joined by Chris Mannix. We are set for the long-awaited rematch between Keyshawn Davis and Dyer Albright. Can you explain? I know we got a sense of this, but just why this fight has gotten so personal.
Yeah, it's back to 2002. Keyshawn Davis faced Mayor Bright as a young prospect. Won that fight. It was later overturned to a no contest because Keyshawn tested positive for marijuana, but they went their separate ways after that. This was back when Keyshawn was still young, 9-0, not the more polished product he was before he won his world championship back in 2025. But he got the win that night against Mayor Albright. Again, later had it overturned, but both of these guys moved on from that. Fast forward to 2025, here in Stoke Arena, Mayor Albright faces Kelvin Davis, comes into the fight as an underdog, but takes the fight to Kelvin Davis, lands some big shots, and winds up with a surprise. That set up this moment that we're about to get to right now. Now, both these guys have had fights since that Keyshawn is outstanding in his last fight against Jermaine Ortiz. They're all right, look pretty good getting a draw against Rex Hart in February. So both of them have some momentum, but both of them tonight are trying to settle that business and put this fight behind them and finish with that one.
Yeah, it's personal. This is Keyshawn's second fight at 140 pounds. He had a little bit of trouble getting to that weight. Is that a concern?
Well, it's got to be a little bit of a concern. Keyshawn Davis made 145 back in January for that fight against Jermaine Ortiz. It was a struggle to get down to 140. He was late for the initial weigh-in. When he first weighed in, he weighed in 0.1 over that weight. You can say, well, that's nothing. It is nothing. He did wind up making the weight on the second try. But missing that weight the first time, that may tell you something about the kind of camp that Keyshawn had coming into this fight.
In your opinion, Chris, could a title shot await the winner?
For Keyshawn Davis, absolutely. He is highly ranked by two of the sanctioning bodies. He is number one with the WBO. Now, we know Shakur Stevenson has that. Keyshawn is never fighting Shakur Stevenson, but it is expected if he wins this fight against Albright that he will be mandated to face Noto Delgado for the vacant 140-pound title. Yes, Oscar Duarte is not going to take that fight. He is not going to take that because the date is coming too soon. So Keyshawn, if he wins, he will get an opportunity for that fight. Here, right? Probably not. But it will set him up for a bigger fight in the future, potentially even a third fight with Keyshawn Davis.
All we know is that this is what it's all come down to between these two. Unfinished business. This is what it's about. This, we finish it. What do you got?
I think Keyshawn is one of the best fighters in the game. If he is right, if he is sharp, if he is as good as he was against Jermaine Ortiz, he's going to look great in this fight and get a knockout. But if he gets a little bit off, that man here, Albright, is ready to fight. This is his Super Bowl. This is the biggest fight of his career. He's coming to win.
Mayor Albright also getting ready for it tonight. We're going to sit the top mission for our tale of the team.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, live from the Mermaid City, Norfolk, Virginia. It's our main event, super lightweight division. Keyshawn Davis, 27 years old, 140 pounds, spot on, had to lose that point one. Took a little long to do it, but he did get there. Here, Albright, looking for revenge after losing the title back in 2023. Here comes that. Looking for a quick side spot with Tony. Great Bear Cooks, 43 Run, and Judge, scored in the field. Later in the start, we got 9 success. We're going to look for each of these results of these. But certainty is being confident is not. Things that they get for them so we talking nothing but winner. Fast influence 9.4. So you know how people were chanting. The standard, you know all that. But we're changing from that experience. Coming up with the half of the next one, you know what it's all. Show up the way I fight for the confidence out of his name. Right up. Even got down at so great. It's going to get it done tonight, and it's going to get it done here. It's so free. It's just been all syndications. You get a statement saying, not back then, over I stopped in the 90s, and his longest in this played last year perspective individual symptoms. I was involved in that right the next night since then. He has made some changes with his team, with his weight, and we saw him speaking in January. It was a spectacular performance against Wayne Ortiz with back to Philippines. Some of them told demons they see that fraternity and trouble making the week for this fight. He has appeared disinterested in this fight. I think anyone out there disputes the best version of Keyshawn Davis beats the best version of Eddie Roberts. The question is, will the best version of Keyshawn show up tonight? Davis said this in his faces. He's just facing. I want this fight. I want someone with a bigger name, more of a challenge. I'm going to prove I'm doubles better than I am, and I'm going to knock him out. There's Jimmy Dunn Jr. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to the Scope Arena here in Norfolk, Virginia for the featured bout of the evening. Brought to you by Tom Barrett's Incorporated, and also brought to you by Miller Lite. Cheers to another round of Miller's Lite. Also brought to you by the City of Norfolk, America's most authentic and urban waterfront city. And brought to you by DAZN. We are live and exclusive on DAZN. Judges throwing our feet to direction for Greece. Mark Contilio, Trunks, Stamy, and Wallace. If you do something and bring each of the referee and charge, getting this question down. So, Ladies and gentlemen, in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from the beautiful city of Norfolk, Virginia, it's time for the Introducing first on my right, hiding out of the blue corner, entering the ring wearing the yellow shirts of players. Presenting the innocent Samson. Fighting out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, he weighed in at 139.7 pounds. His record stands at 17 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, and 1 no contest, with 7 wins coming by knockout. Here is the experienced ring warrior ready to make a statement tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the battle-tested, battle-ready contender known as Pretty Boy Whoop. Introducing ready to go fighting out of the corner. Proudly representing the 7-6 Indians. Jenna. It's a the most six young Norfolk, Virginia. He weighed in 40 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign with a record of 14 wins, no losses, 1 no contest with 10 wins coming by with knockout. Here is the U.S. Olympic silver medalist, currently ranked at WBO super defeated former WBO champion. Known as the business introducing King Shark. Once again, the referee in charge is Malik Willie. They now ready to give instructions.